Hello. Let's get started. How are you? It's been a little bit late than usual today. Just was busy with some things, but yeah, here we are finally. I hope that you are doing fine, that you had a great week, and you enjoyed the weekend so far. I have myself, but it's that you are enjoying the weather. If it's good here in Malmö, where I live, it's been um, very hot for what we are used to around here. Lion Kiev, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. I think that's the first time I see you around. How are you? So today, I was planning to continue with the character we started last week, which is this one. I managed to spend a little bit of hi. All right. Well, very nice. Please do share those drawings on the Discord channel, please. Really looking forward to see those. So yeah, like I was saying, I managed to find some time here and there to continue a little bit with the character that we started last week. So this is where it is. But today I was feeling like I would like to do something else. Even though I'm really enjoying where it stands at the moment, but I felt like I wanted to start something new again today. So we build a nice amount of different concepts or illustrations at the same time, so I can jump from stream to stream, and I don't end up working with the same illustration every single stream, because it becomes a little bit tiring. So like this I can jump from one to another, and there's a little bit of variety. And if we feel like we want to continue with the same illustration, then we can do that. But if we don't, we can shift to something else. So at the moment we have the Perturabo illustration as a demon prince. We have these space pirates that we started last week. And today I wanted to start a little bit of another surprise Warhammer fan art, and to be a dark Eldar. And I wanted to do that because I have never ever tried to do it. So I thought it would be a good challenge and fun, and yeah, and see what happens with that character. So I've been gathering a little bit of references, because like I say, I have absolutely no experience with them. So yeah, I thought about having a little bit of reference, because I really struggle really having a clear image of their designs. I initially thought about starting like a normal Eldar, but then I thought like, yeah, but the Drukhari, the Dark Eldars, are a little bit more interesting, perhaps. And so yeah, there you go. So yes. Let's see. So I was recording the whole process from last week, if you remember. So I was thinking about playing a little bit of it while I talked before I start with the new character. So we can discuss a little bit kind of the same things that we mentioned regarding how important it is to to give a little frame to the design ahead, right? So not jumping just right away, but just kind of having, even if it's the simplest kind of direction or brief of what I want to achieve with the character. So while we talk about this and explain, I leave this recording of the previous character, so you have something to see. Alexei, you haven't found my Discord server. Okay, let me just show you. I will put a link on the chat. Let's see, 1 second. One second. All right, there you have the link for the Discord server. Trees Freighter, it's a pleasure to see you. Same wise. Very nice to see some new names on the chat. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. So all right. So like I said, I was thinking to do an Eldar because I only have done one Eldar before. No, sorry. If I'm correct, 2 before. So it's a race that I'm not that used to paint or draw. And that definitely I haven't tried to do Dark Eldar before. So I was thinking to... My idea that I would like to focus this character is to make the character a little bit androgynous. To make it in a way that it's difficult to see if it's a female or a male, because I always imagine the Eldar a little bit that way, face wise. That I don't like representations of Eldar like elves, pretty looking. And they are just like beautiful humans with pointy ears. I don't like that. I mean, they are supposed to be aliens or space elves, sure, but still, I like some of the interpretations where they look a little bit off. They are slightly, I mean, they don't look human. They look close to, but not that much. So I like that take. So I would like to do something of that sort, but at the same time to play a little bit with that androgynous approach. And I don't know if I will manage. We'll see. So that's one thing that I would like to play and to aim for. And then I was thinking to do some kind of assassin of a warband. So the character is going to be more than a proper assassin, is going to be a warrior, but still that plays or falls into the role of play as an assassin for the leader of his or her clan a little bit. So a little bit of a duelist or something of that sort. I'm not sure. And hey, Peter. Hello. Welcome. How are you? And I would like to show her or him in a attitude of contained aggression, like that she or he need to look dangerous but not so obvious. So it's just like about to jump, or you feel that it's like containing the aggression. It's just like barely contained. Something, those are kind of a very broad concept that I have in my mind that I would like to aim or try to represent with this character. Other than that, I'm not sure. So I'm more than welcome to for suggestions, and yeah, we can see throughout the process. I was thinking. Let's see if you can see them here. So I was thinking just to go with a regular warrior of the Dark Eldar. Nothing fancy, not a witch, not anything more arcane or exotic, but just because I really like this type of armors, and they are so pointy, and yeah, I don't know, I like it. So I think I'm gonna go with that direction. I think, or try to aim for that. And yeah, let's see. I started like 15 minutes before the stream. I started with a face, but it's I'm really struggling with it, so I will continue with that. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see. Okay, so let me see that also the program for recording is in place. Okay. Alexei, haha, I use almost the same reference board for my work on Dark Eldar. Nice. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, almost everything is from Paul Dayton, except these from Igor Sid, and this from what's his name? Kyle Kopinski, and Xavier. This thing here. So yeah, not surprised. I mean, all of this is just merely to give me some design clues about some of how things are supposed to look. Because once again, as I said, I'm not that. I don't have that much experience painting Dark Eldar, so. Yeah, let's stop here the recording. We can pause it and leave it for later. All right. So we will leave here Mr. Pirate for next week, perhaps, or another time. And let's go with our Eldar. All right. So I don't know if I have mentioned this before, but um, uh, my my wife and I we talked for a long time about being very curious about doing this genetic test to see um, your genetic roots. Going back thousands of years, so to get a little bit of your DNA lineage, where it goes, and stuff like that. So we've been wondering about that, to do that. We decided to finally do it, but instead of doing it on ourselves, we decided to give it as a present to our parents, to her parents and to my parents. So like that, in that way, instead of just getting their DNA match together directly from us, by doing that we gain one extra lineage from each one of them. So a little bit more wider look into that lineage. Because if how it works is that it looks through your maternal line back, so from mother to, or like from daughter to mother to grandmother to grandmother, and like that, directly. And the same thing with the father. So by giving that test to our parents, that way we gain one extra lineage that otherwise would get lost if we were doing that test directly ourselves. and the results have been very, very, very interesting. It is quite amazing, and it gives you it's quite dizzying, kind of trying to picture, because even though they give it is the analysis is divided in three things. One is the early recent history, so it just traces your genetic lineage back to around 250 years, and comprising 10 generations, and each generation is separated by 25 years more or less. But then it looks at the your maternal lineage and your parental lineage, father father line and mother line, and it goes back thousands of years back, and then it gives you a very different picture as well. So it shows you a map of the globe, and highlighted by percentage, but in colors, the different areas where you are sharing genetic DNA with DNA lineage with people from those areas. So it gives you an approximate picture of your roots, but it is very wide. So it is impossible to really say that, oh, I come from this or that, because of course it's spread through thousands of years. So it is impossible to, yeah. Alexei, are you going to make her face look very unlike a human? I think the Eldar must look creepy. Something must be wrong in their look. Yes, exactly. So yes, that's my goal or intention. So I'm trying to not make him, her. I'm still don't know if it's gonna be a guy or a girl, or a woman. But yeah, I definitely don't want to look exactly like a person. But I still need to make. So first I will make up the face of a person, and then I will try to add or start to modify it so it looks less like a person, like a human. So yes, so with this thing with the DNA test, so yeah, the amazing thing, and after doing it, it really speaks volumes about how silly and arbitrary and fictitious all the nationalistic sentiments that exist. Like, yeah, let's say I'm from Spain, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm from Spain, and all my ancestors are from Spain, and yeah, we come back from. But the thing is that as soon as you start to scratch back into your DNA lineage, you start to see that you actually probably don't. Your ancestors were not from the region where you now live, and that you are making all these fantasies about you belong to this place, and all these narratives about, I don't know, or here in Scandinavia, like, yeah, we are Vikings, and all these nationalistic discourses and narratives about, okay, so they link everything to some event in the past, and everybody now feels like, yeah, they belong to the place because you are the same people. But then when you start to look at this DNA, you start to see that that is just a fantasy, because your roots come from somewhere else. It is quite fascinating. My computer starting to do a very weird sound. I don't know. Scary. I hope that everything is fine. Um, so yeah, it is. It is super interesting. Alexei, yeah, it is, and that's the thing, that anything that you might think are just wishes or fantasies, because you have no idea of where they come from, and the sense is like, through the time, people have been migrating from one place to another in the globe. So yeah, so I can say, for example, I myself am from Spain, right? uh, I'm waiting for the results from my mother line, so I only have from my father. My father, he was red hair. When I was a kid, I was redhead also, and when I get a son, my beard is also red, and I'm very pale. I have freckles. My father does as well, but my father comes from the very northwest of Spain. Um, but my uncles, my father's brothers, they are very dark skin. Um, like they could be from the North Africa. I mean, not. It definitely give that impression. So there are these two divergences, right? My grandfather, he had some features that could look from North Africa, but still he was Caucasian. And the same with my grandmother. She was more like from the north, central Europe, something like that, more or less. So, well, what the DNA revealed is that, amazingly, there is I can't remember the percentage, but a humongous and the biggest percentage of my DNA lineage comes from the Tuareg tribes in North Africa. Like, what the fuck? I mean, in recent history, everything is located in Spain, France, south of England, and a little bit of Germany. But as soon as as you take a look into the father line and the mother line that goes back thousands of years back, then you start to see that, oh shit, I'm actually not like from forever from Spain, and actually I share like the biggest percentage of DNA lineage. I have the same one that the Tuareg people on nomad tribes in North Africa in the Sahara. So it's like, and like I said, I have freckles. I'm super pale. I have a green um, light eyes. So there's nothing of myself that physically could point in that direction, but still, that's what the DNA says from my father. Then from my grandmother, there is linkage to also in a huge amount to the Berber people and Tuareg as well, but also from Iceland, from Norway, from Ireland, from Finland, which is very weird. So, but what is obvious looking and trying to think about it is that all these related DNA with the Tuareg and the North African Berber tribes in North Africa is because of the Muslim invasion of the Iberian Peninsula in the 5th century, which was comprised mainly from Berber tribes. So I read a little bit about it, and a very big portion of Spanish people have in common this DNA lineage, or in common with the people from North Africa, like the Berbers and the Tuareg tribes, which is quite insane. I mean, I would have never, ever in my life guessed that. I mean, it is insane. Then my wife, she's from Lithuania, and her biggest from her father line, the biggest percentage comes from the indigenous people from North Siberia. So once again, like, and also even some linkage to Japan, Korea, and Laos. I mean, it's just insane. But of course, we are talking about thousands of years in time, right? So it's, but still, early, recent history, yes, everything located around the area, like Lithuania, Ukraine, all of that. But as soon as you start to get farther in time, the DNA lineage start to spread around and move, and yeah, it is quite insane. Gunthem, hello, welcome back. How are you? Here, starting with some dark Eldar character and talking about DNA tests. Alexei, Northern Siberia, these are our people. Yes, but you know, that's the thing, Alexei, that is like, from your name, I'm guessing that you are from Russia. And you, as me, or many people, of course, you think of yourself of the place that you have born. And but when you take this test, what it shows you is that is just merely a very short period of time, and that like your heritage not necessarily is gonna be Russian perhaps, and comes from the East. Uh, you know, so that's what I mean. That I feel that this test is the ultimate. How do you say? Destroyer of nationalistic sentiments uh, and things of the sort, because what it shows you is that all these national sentiments and are just arbitrary constructions. They are not. Yeah, they are just inventions. I mean, I myself, if I think of myself, I have nothing to do with the Tuareg people. I have nothing in common, but still I share like a huge, like the biggest percentage from my father's line. Again, I still haven't read my mother's line, and let's see what that shows. But at least from my father's side, there is a big portion of that, and it's like I would have never guessed. Uh, Again, I have freckles. I'm super pale. So it's like, I guess that's more from my father's mother line, perhaps. I don't know, but yeah, it is. I don't know. It is very. It's surprising. It is super interesting, and shocking, and dizzying, because when you start to make a mental image of where do you come from, it becomes extremely difficult, because you start to see that it's so complicated, because we are the result of thousands of mixtures of thousands or even millions of people, and everybody contribute with something else, and at the end it becomes such a big group. So just saying that I'm Spanish or I'm Spaniard and everything about me is Spaniard is just not true. The same as anybody from anywhere else. um so yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Have you done this test yourselves? Have you done, or do you know about anybody that has done it? Mortar Champion, hello, welcome. Well, like, you've been listening, talking about DNA tests, and I'm working on this, or Eldar, that it's will become a Dark Eldar, Drukari. Miguel Mitchell da Silva, hey, hello, thank you. All right, people. Now I have to put things. I have to be put things in order, because from last time when Miguel came to the stream, I remember that, yeah, your names kind of rings a bell, but I couldn't find it. Well, now we talked, and I realized between the streams that he's a fantastic artist. He does amazing 40k illustrations and characters, and he really needs to be praised, because he's a fantastic artist. So if you don't know his art, please go and check. I don't know if you have ArtStation, perhaps check on his ArtStation if Miguel's has. If not, he has a Instagram account, because yeah, you are gonna be out for a treat, because he does fantastic stuff. So yes. And welcome, yeah, and Miguel, very delighted to see you around again, man. Gunthem, I'm fine. Last time you told me to drop my portfolio on your Discord, but I couldn't find your Discord anywhere. Is there somewhere I can find it? Yes. I'm gonna post if I can again. There you have it. On the chat, that's the Discord link. Alao la mana. Migrations are super interesting and can blow your mind. The Vandal invasions of North Africa, where Scandinavians settled Libya. The Indo-European invasions are back too. Are whack too. Yes, yeah, that's the thing. It's when you start to dig into that, you start to see that. Yeah, you don't really belong to the place that you have born, because you start to see that, yeah, maybe you've been living in perhaps even not even that, but let's say like in my case, let's say at least 250 years around the geographical area where you have born. But if you go farther in time, you start to see that you are not really from this place, or you have nothing in common with the ancient people of the geographical location where you actually born. So yes. So in my case, while just trying to think about it, it makes a lot of sense that yes, in my case, I come from a lineage of the Berber tribes that made the biggest amount of I'm explaining myself so badly today. The Berber tribes were the more oh my goodness, I cannot for the sake of I cannot speak today. In the invasion of the 5th century, of the Muslim invasion of the what it's now Spain and Portugal, back then was the Visigoths, like also like Gothic and Germanic tribes settled in nowadays Spain, so invaded by the Muslims. And the biggest proportions of people that were composing this invasion were the Berber people and Tuaregs. So it seems from my DNA that I have a huge linkage from my DNA from these people. Insane. At least from my father's line, from my grandfather line, then from my grandmother, it seems that still is a big percentage also from there, but as well from Scandinavia, which also makes sense since a lot of Vikings were raiding the northwest part of Spain as well. So who knows? I don't know. And those are like a tiny portions of all the different. I'm just kind of making it very narrow, but in the analysis there is all over the place. There are many other linkages. Gunthem, yeah, I saw his work on Reddit many times. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, Miguel rocks. Yeah, he's very good. Very a work that is very moody and very cinematic as well. Miguel, well, you are welcome. That's nothing. You very well deserve it. And Gunsem, yeah, no problem, man. Really looking forward to see it. And of course, the thing is that it's once again it's very difficult also to, even though, for example, in this case, I'm saying okay, so yeah, a very direct link with the Tuareg people is like okay, but that's just a part of many others that are there. That is just the one that shares the biggest percentage, but still share from many other places as well. So it's yeah, it's pretty dizzying feeling. Trying to get a grasp of really what it means. I mean, another example, for example, with my wife's father, right? So he's from Lithuania, and he always felt like, yeah, he's very Lithuanian. He always, like, I'm from here, like, yeah. The analysis looked like, okay, recent history, so going back to 150 years, everything is super located in around Lithuania, just there, right? But then when you go into his father line back in time, like I said, it goes to the northern tribes of North Siberia, and then to the east, of course, back in time, to the east, as far as Korea, Japan, Laos, and it's like, and also the Arabic Peninsula and Middle East. So it's just like, what the fuck? So it's like, okay, so even if you think, if you say like, yeah, I'm pure blood from whatever, it's like, no, you are not. Most certainly, you are not. Hey, Richard. Hello. Good evening. Long time no see. How are you? Very glad to see that you are alive and well, I hope. Very happy to see you, man. How are you? Uh, we are here um, doing or trying to start a Dark Eldar character. Let's see if I succeed or not. This is my very first one. And talking about DNA tests to see what are your uh, genes roots. Your genes heritage. Richard, I'm good, thanks. How are you, Miguel? I had not so much time in the past weekends to watch your stream. Yeah, no problem, man. Life is a busy thing, and yeah, this my little stream is not or shouldn't be a priority. So pretty good, pretty good. Many things has happened since last time you were on the stream. I had a very stressful period because I was going through some huge renovations of my place for 2 months and having to work at the same time. So it's been very stressful, but now that is over. So all is good. Um, and how about you, Richard? How is life treating you? Are you on vacations or working? I really like having some like yellow eyes. Richard, please tell me once again, who is this character you are painting right now? Well, it's just Dark Eldar from 40k. I have never painted any, so I thought it would be a nice thing to try. So the idea, even though it's very loose, but the idea is to make some kind of androgynous kind of character where you are not sure, at least by the face, if it's a female or a male, and try to, at least my wish is trying to convey the danger, you know, that is exude danger, and give the character an attitude of barely contain violence and aggressiveness or violence, something like that. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve. So, and I'm not complicating myself too much, so just like I thought about making some warrior from a warrior clan or a pirate clan from the Drukari. But to give her some, or him, some personality. I don't know. I'm thinking more as a female. I don't know why. So maybe she will be a she, but still a little bit androgynous. So it's not that easy to see, at least from the face. But I want to do something, I mean, of course, I want to do something a little bit more, a little bit also different from just the normal, for example, here, very iconic. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find like a middle ground between something that clearly looks like a dark Eldar, but at the same time giving her a look that is a little bit more unique. So yeah, we'll see. Alexei, give her a long neck, please. Yeah, all right. But maybe with the type of pose that I'm thinking about, maybe that's not gonna show that much. You will see what I mean with the pose. But Alexei, I'm just curious because of what you mentioned before. Are you from Russia? Since when I mentioned the thing with the native tribes from North Siberia, I'm just curious just to see where people are in the stream because I find that fascinating to see the different places where people are looking from or watching from. Robert, thanks for the like. Yes, I'm Russian. I live in Siberia for now. All right, nice. And okay, now I'm very even more curious because I've been I think it was like 5 years ago. I traveled around Siberia. So I'm very, of course, it's a humongous place, like this in big. But where are you? Where do you live? Maybe I passed by where you are living. What such a fantastic journey! That's one of those travels that I will always remember. Such a fantastic time. I traveled for an entire month around Siberia, in the Trans-Siberian, but of course making stops along the way. And wow, what a journey! Richard, okay, thanks for the answer. Oh, come on, man. There's no need for thanks. I would say you are trying to achieve some type of character, like for example, I have God in my icon, which is Satan from the movie The Passion of the Christ, starred by Rosalinda Celentano. Aha, yeah. I see what you. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you are mentioning, yes, it has a vibe. Yeah, actually, yeah, man. Alexei, yes, we have a beautiful land. Yes, you do. Thousands of kilometers of forest, mountains, and rivers. What city have you been to? Pontus, hello. Hello, Pontus. Hello, man. How are you? All right. So I went first to Vladivostok. Um, I went by plane to Vladivostok and made the journey from east to west. So we first, spent some time in Vladivostok, and then we went to Khabarovsk. From Khabarovsk, and in each place that I'm mentioning, we stayed some time. So from Khabarovsk, we went to Ulan-Ude, and there we went to, from Ulan-Ude we took a small minibus that took us to a mountain to the south of Irkutsk, but closer to Mongolia. So in a small village called Arshan. It was like yeah, south to Irkutsk, like several hundreds kilometers. I don't know. Then we went back to Irkutsk, and then from there we went to Alkhon in the Baikal lake, and we stayed there for quite some time. Then we went back to Irkutsk, and from Irkutsk we took the train to Yekaterinburg, and from Yekaterinburg we went to Kazan, and from Kazan to Moscow. So it was a month, more or less, maybe a little bit longer than a month. Pontus, just working a bit in the garden. Morning had some friends over. Now I'm get to rest. Nice, nice, nice. So now you have a garden, Pontus. How lucky you are. Alexei, all those cities are familiar to me. I am from Krasnoyarsk. It is the very center of Siberia, somewhere between Vladivostok and Moscow. Nice. Nice. Solid Frango, thanks for the follow. Thank you, and welcome to the stream. But yeah, Alexei, nice. I think we had an issue during that journey. It was like there were too many places that we wanted to go, but of course, being such a big place, we had to make some choices, and yeah. So Krasnoyarsk was also part of one of the alternatives, but at the end we decided to go more to the south, to Kazan. But yeah, such an amazing journey and such great memories. Yeah. And so big, my goodness, it's just decently big. It's so, I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, of course, from a rational point of view, you understand, yes, it is big. But another thing is just to experience it, just being there and just having it like a more direct input into what it means being that big, and it's just decent. I don't know. At least for me, it was just like very yeah, dizzying. That's the best way I can describe it. Like trying to grasp how big it is. And I'm always thinking about the Dark Eldar a little bit more like vampires. Or I always picture them a little bit that way. And not just like a vampire, but like an eel vampire that is just like looking sick. Richard, is he or she supposed to wear makeup? I don't know. Good question. No, I don't. In one way, I would say that I can definitely see them doing that. But at the same time, I feel that it's kind of cool if they don't. And for example, the lips are just like that, like very dark. I'm not sure, but no, I'm not think right now when I'm painting her. I'm not thinking as if it is makeup, but just actual, yeah, no makeup. Of course, I mean, just bear in mind that this is the first rough, and I will polish things uh, later on. But I see what you, yeah, that maybe now it feels like the character is wearing mascara and stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't thinking as if she would be actually having it. But if I think of it, I don't see it as a problem. I think it could fit. It fits perfectly the the way of being of this race. Not just being cruel, but also very self-centered and hedonistic. I mean, they definitely care about how they look or about their look. Story Killinger. Evening to my favorite Warhammer artist. Oh wow, man. You are very kind. Thanks, man. I like a lot your work as well. Just so you know. For everybody on the chat, if you are not aware, Story Killinger here also is a fantastic. He's a fantastic artist, and you definitely should check his work because it is very nice. And welcome to the stream. I think this is the first time I see you around, so fantastic to have you around, man. I'm so happy that so many talented artists have joined so far the stream and the chat. Fantastic, fantastic. Richard, Story Killinger is a beast. Yes, yes, he is indeed. Story Killinger, you are the dude I learned to draw Space Marines from, and the reason I did last year 30,000 300 challenge to draw faces like you do. Thank you. Well, I don't know what to say, but yeah, thanks to you. Yeah, that's a very kind thing to say, and very cool to hear. So yeah, I don't know, but yes, your work rocks. Story Killinger. Beady beady beam 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 beam. So what are we gonna do with this creep? I think this is good enough for now for the face. I think we can. Yeah, it doesn't make too much sense to continue working on the face now without deciding the full design and body and pose and everything. So let's do that. All right. So Dark Eldar, how are they? What type of armor should we? I kind of like like a red armor. Looks pretty cool. Eldars are supposed to be inhumanly slim. Richard, any plans for the helmet for this character? No, not yet. I was planning to mainly display the character without helmet, but we can absolutely maybe do another version with helmet then. But I would go with something pretty standard. So in that way, I don't want her to be like a crazy character in that sense. So she's just like a warrior, but at the same time, I want to give her some character, some personality. Sorry guys that I'm so quiet. I'm just trying to I'm quite focused into um, working with the pose. Richard, I mean something special with Snake's design, like Medusa's head or something. I don't know, man. I'm at the moment. I haven't given too much thoughts into that. That's gonna. Um, at the moment, I'm trying just to focus on on those aspects that I have already thought of, and is regarding her attitude. That I want her to display, right? And therefore trying to work in that sense with the pose for that. Those type of armor design and stuff. That's something that I will have to worry in a later stage once I'm happy with the pose. So at the moment I'm very focused on just displaying a pose that kind of communicate that attitude that I was talking about danger and arrogance, perhaps. I mean, they are supposed to be very arrogant. Idox, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness. Mr. Bjorn Huri is here. Another fantastic artist. What is this? What? Bjorn, man, but I thought you were not streaming anymore. Thank you. Thanks everybody. Thank you. How are you, man? What have you been doing on your stream, Bjorn? Do you have anything to share? Any link? I would love to see Bjorn. Oh, come on, Bjorn. I'm good now that I'm here. How are you? Are you on vacation? Enjoying a little bit of the summer and relaxing? if anybody has been living under a rock and don't know about Bjorn, he is a fantastic artist, concept artist, and you definitely should check his work, follow on all social media, on everything, because he's a not only a great artist but a fantastic human being. Pontus, I saw your green dude with big tail. Okay, so that's what you've been painting, Bjorn. I haven't seen it, so yeah, we'll. If you cannot share it now, I will definitely take a look after the stream. But I thought you were not streaming anymore. Are you back to streaming? No, I don't see any link. All right. Yeah, I know about the Discord thing. I know that last time we talked about, I said I will try to join, but I've been so crazy busy in the last months that it's been. I will definitely try because I really miss your streams during the mornings, the warm up stuff. Pro 4210. Just when he thought he was out, they pull him back in. Yes, exactly. Bjorn, I will PM you the link since Twitch doesn't allow it. All right. Okay. Let me see. On Discord. All right. Ooh, nice, Bjorn. Nice. Let me share if you don't mind. So there it is. Haha, fantastic. Crazy stuff. What is it? What kind of character is it, Bjorn? That looks awesome. I like it a lot. There you have it, kids. That's how pros do it. Cantabrian, hello, good evening. Yes, and France is bacon. Is it? Such a great story. Yeah, when I read it the first time, I was laughing so hard. It's fantastic. The level of surrealism Bjorn, it is classified in my mind as a white troll. Okay, cool. So it's, and what you mean by white is just like a good troll. Uh, all right, so she is gonna. We need to slim her down. But I have to say that today's stream is been amazing with so many fantastic artists joining the chat. So we have Bjorn, we have Story Killinger, we have Miguel, not me, not me, but Miguel Michel da Silva, fantastic illustrator as well. So what a party, my goodness. Such an honor to have so many talented artists on the chat. So yeah, and the thing is, I'm not. Yeah. So let me just give a little bit recap of what we are trying to do during the stream for everybody that just joined. And so I'm trying to do. If anybody is familiar with the 40K universe, I'm trying to do what it's called Dark Eldar. So it's kind of, for those of you that are not familiar, just think of space elves, but as aliens, but with a little bit more, trying to go away from the elf idea, but just so you get something to grasp in terms of understanding, but they are not exactly elves, but I mean, they are heavily inspired by fantasy elves, but like in space, so to speak. But they are aliens. So I'm really starting fresh today. So with this sketch, and I started with a very basic idea. So normally when I start any character design, I try to start with some type of brief, something to aim for, to have a certain direction, so I can steer all the design work into that specific direction and concepts that I've been thinking about. So instead of just starting fresh and with no clue. So at the same time, I'm doing this character in a very light way in that sense. So instead of having a very lengthy and in-depth a brief for this character, I just started with, okay, so I know that it needs to be from this race. So the visual elements from the design that are already set, because it's already well developed universe, so I don't have to think so much into that. So I decided to focus more in terms of the attitude of their character. So what I'm going for is a character that is supposed to be very dangerous, and she needs to show some kind of, or at least that's what I have in my mind, like a certain attitude of contained aggressiveness or violence. So she needs to look dangerous, and that in any moment she can kill you. More or less, that's kind of the idea. So kind of the epitome of an assassin, of a murderer, something of that kind. And that's kind of what I'm trying to focus at the moment, with the face expression, with the pose. And once I have something, a foundation, so to speak, for those elements, then I will start to work with the rest of the design, in terms of the armor, the different type of costume and elements and weapons or whatever that she might be carrying. So with the face, this is good enough for now as a sketch, and I'm working at the moment with the pose, or rather struggling with the pose, but yeah. Hava, Eldar, the ones into torture and excess? Yes, those exact ones. So they are like psychopath space elves. That they are, in practical terms, immortal, and they spend all that time capturing other people or other aliens to practice their refined skills into torture. And very, very, very horrible stuff. I mean, they are... You definitely don't want to get captured by this Dark Eldar. And one of the worst things that I have read from these people is that they can, after torturing somebody for centuries, because they give you some cocktails of medicines and you know, preservation techniques with their extremely advanced technology, that they keep you torturing in the brink of death, but they still keep you alive and for centuries. So yeah, something like that. And when they are finished or bored, they make of you a chair, but a living chair. So imagine just living as a living chair for the rest of your, well, in practical terms again, for forever, because you will never die, because they will keep you alive, or a furniture, but a living furniture, and you are aware, and so no unconscious, no, you are pretty aware of where you are, and in a painful way as well. So I mean, so really like nightmarish stuff. So this is what these people are. Hava, yeah, definitely top 3 most unpleasant things to happen in Warhammer 40k. Yes. I mean, I would say, I would argue that is the worst thing that can happen is to become a prisoner of the Dark Eldar. I mean, you are screwed. Story killing your Dark Eldar have layers, torture for 20 or so years, and when they get bored of you, you become a chair or a shower curtain. Yes, yes, it is. It is quite insane. I mean, to be honest, it is in the fiction. It is a race that is quite challenging to make them work in a believable way. Dudeless, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. They, I mean, they are so over the top. And the reason why they are torturing is so that their souls are not consumed by a demon god. Right? So, I mean, the whole thing is so over the top that it's a little bit on the edge to make them believable. But I mean, at the same time, they are aliens, right? So it's they are supposed to be difficult to understand and to really grasp really how they work. Pon 2005, thanks for the follow and welcome to the stream. I have to say that I'm not used to so much attention. But of course, everybody's more than welcome. And yes, I hope that you are, guys and girls, doing fine and enjoying your evening, or well, or day. I don't know, depending on where you are. But at least that you are enjoying the weekend anyway. And I hope, since you are looking at some art stream, that while doing so, you are also painting or drawing. So also for all the newcomers, so you get an idea of normally the type of things that we do on stream, because this is so last stream we were working on this other character, Space Pirate, so it's still also very sketchy, but I'm trying to diversify and to create many different concepts or illustrations for the stream, so we can jump from one to another, from stream to stream, and not just being locked with one until it's done, because it can take quite some time, as it's been happening until now. So before continuing and finishing this one, starting this other one, so we can jump from one another, depending on how we feel, from stream to stream. Bava, well, they could join those worlds that are protected from Slaanesh, the ones with the gems that they wear to protect their souls. I'm a bit weak on that lore. Well, yes, they could, but they will not, because they despise each other very much. So yes, they definitely could do that, but they don't. Especially, I mean, they still work together. From time to time, since they are supposed to be the same race, but they are very different and they don't like each other at all. So they have split apart so much that yeah, I mean, the normal Eldar that live on the craft worlds are living in those craft worlds because originally they decided to exile themselves from the society that they shared with the Dark Eldars before they became Dark Eldars, because they thought they were too extreme and perverse, and yeah, so they decided to exile themselves. So technically speaking, yes, they could, but they 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 don't. And this character is gonna be some nothing special in terms of like not over the top, just like a random warrior. But my intention is just, instead of just being kind of boring, just like a foot soldier, I just want to give her a lot of character, personality, and attitude. So it really feels that she's somebody. It's just not like a nameless minion of, but actually an individual with a personality and traits and stuff like that. That she feels alive and with her own motivations and they also are supposed to be carrying very exotic weapons. And I don't know exactly how I would do that, but we will see. But that's gonna be for later on in the process. At the moment, my main focus is once again into establishing a strong and solid foundation with the pose that obviously works, but also from a narrative point of view that really managed to express her personality and attitude. That's the most important thing. I mean, I can spend quite some time working on this phase, and I will not move forward with the design until I'm satisfied with the pose. Uh, uh, because what's the point of moving forward if the fundamental doesn't work? It doesn't communicate what it's supposed to communicate. And I always find that it's, even though it might happen that you feel the pressure that, oh damn man, I should move forward and time is passing by and I'm not getting there yet, but still it's always worth it. I mean, in my book there is no way to move forward until this part works and it's solid. So maybe for you guys now at this point it's a little bit more boring to see because things doesn't move forward that much, and I'm moving around the same thing. But yeah, it is vital to do it properly. They are supposed to be very slim and long, more than a human. And once again, since this is the first time I'm trying to do these type of characters and I don't have experience, I'm struggling a little bit to find those proportions. So maybe a little bit more this way. So they are they are described as having a little bit longer limbs than humans as well. Still, I mean, if you see all the references that I have, they are pretty elongated. Story Killinger, but they found this other thing that works. And as long as you're talking about the lore. And as long as it works, we won't change. They won't change mentality. Like North versus South, but they are not longer in conflict in that way. I think Dark Eldars and Eldars are at least in contact of all the races. Yeah, so they are supposed to be in contact, but they don't like each other. Bazari, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. Cantabrian, I learned the hard way from overshooting the foundations of any art, whether it would be 2D or 3D. The foundations are so important. Yes. I mean, what's the point of moving forward if the foundation is not rock solid, and then the whole work is going to suffer from it, and might happen that you need to restart from zero, or you're gonna so the foundation is of vital importance, no matter how long it takes. Age Westcott, thanks for the follow and welcome to the stream. I mean, this, of course, it must be thanks to Bjorn because I'm not used to so much heat. This is a very small stream, and yeah, it's too much action. Lucius, I learned so much from these streams. Thanks, man. And hello. I see that you've been lurking tonight. How are you, man? H. Westcott. Just so you live on YouTube, didn't know you were on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, I'm streaming. I'm multi-streaming, so I'm on Twitch, on YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. But yeah, fantastic. Thanks for joining. Lucius, I said hi earlier, but we got a lot of new people chatting. Good to see so much new people. Oh, all right, Lucius. Sorry, I missed it. Sorry, but yeah, it is great. By the way, Lucius, I have to say that I really liked the things that you posted on the Discord channel. Pretty cool stuff. Very good work. So, all right. So at this point, let's duplicate here so we don't lose this option. So as you can see, I'm not trying to, or at least I'm not thinking into making a very fancy pose. It's pretty boring in some way. But what I'm trying to, once again, having in mind what is the focus, what is the direction I'm trying to go with this character, and it's about the idea that she might jump at any second and kill you, that she's tense, just and barely containing her violence, and maybe something like this could be. Lucius, thanks. Wow, I'm honored. I'm still have a lot of work on, but getting there every day. Yeah, man. I mean, it really shows that you are putting some work into it, and yeah, it is great. And of course, we all feel that way. That still things to work on, and but it's always like a constant. If you put the work, it's always like a constant motion forward and learning and advancing and getting better. But yeah, anyway, once again, great work. Midro Nuruodu. Wow, man, you have a very challenging nickname. Hi, I'm planning on becoming a concept artist in 1 year time. Any advice? All right. Yes, I may have plenty of advice. But before I do, I would like to ask you, what type of concept artist do you want to be? First, are you interested in working for films or for video games or for both? Would you like to do character designs or environment designs or vehicle designs or prop designs? Or are you more into keyframe keyframes, right? Or more like more illustrative concept art, more like pitch work and stuff like that. Yes. So do you have any preference? Have you thought about that? Because there are many things involved that depend depending on what are you aiming for. I mean, concept art is a pretty wide discipline on itself. Also, I have a lot of digital brushes. How do you decide on what brushes to use when working? All right. So while you are answering me that the question that I ask you back regarding brushes, basically it comes to the ones that are useful to you and that you feel more comfortable. I myself, look, I have also many brushes. I mean, to be fair, many are repeated in there, so they are not all just unique brushes, but still there are quite many, and I barely use all. And as a matter of fact, I 96% of all the time that I'm working, I'm using 1 or 2 brushes only, and that I have created myself. And the thing is, brushes are not that important once you find the one that you feel comfortable, because yeah, I mean, unless you want to find or use some kind of a specific texture for something very specific, and yeah, you use a specific brush that give you that texture. But for the most part, that is not that important. You can do any good concept art with any type of brush. So I wouldn't obsess with the brushes at all, and just use one that you feel comfortable with, that you like how it looks and the feel it gives, and that you like to, yeah, once again, to use, and that's it. Don't overthink it. I would like to try a little slightly different pose. Oops. Mithraw, thanks. Also, when creating a reference board, what do you look for when choosing photos? Oh man, well, that's a very wide question, and I would say it depends greatly. The the reference board, you need to think about it not just as a picking something that just look cool and copying, but it need to be some kind of visual support for a previous research that you have done into the subject that you are going to be working. So, and that should be the main thriving force when gathering references. Let's say that you are doing some character for that is supposed to be from like some kind of, let's say, okay, medieval knight for a game, and this game is supposed to be it's not just fantasy, but it needs to be historically accurate, because it's an history driven like story, no, sorry, history driven story, you know, and it's about the 15th, let's say 30th century in France. Okay, right. So in that case, you would have to go and look for references that cannot fit that theme, but you're gonna have to do research in terms of, okay, understanding first what type of period is that, the type of armor and weaponry that they use at that time, not just picking any random knight armor that you see on the internet and that looks good, because it might be from the 10th century, or could be completely invented and doesn't make sense, or is completely inaccurate, you know. So all the references that you pick need to be supporting the research that you are supposed to have done previously. You don't start picking references. You do have to make some thorough research first, and then you look for the references, because then you know what you are looking for. So that's what I would say. Mortis Champion. The color scheme of the armor reminds me of the Blood Knights. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm just picking it. I just thought about this, just looking at this character from Paul Dayton. No, sorry. From Paul Dayton. And yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. And the red gives, you know, this aggressiveness, of course, remind to blood. But yeah, I yes, I agree. Yes. And for all of you that are watching and you don't know who Paul Dayton is, he is a god of illustration. So if you don't know who Paul Dayton is, just go and Google. Robots Fluff, thanks for the follow and welcome to the stream. I was actually talking to him the other day, and I haven't forgot about this idea that we had some streams ago of making a series of interviews of artists that I admired and that have inspired me greatly. Blue Guard, thanks for the follow. And welcome to the stream. And definitely Paul Dayton is on the first of the list for me. So I think I will wait for the end of the summer. And let's see if I manage to convince him to do an interview. And I can share with all of you. And we can all learn from it, because yes, it's I mean, when I grow up, I want to be like him. Hava, is chat in the video from YouTube or from here? I don't see it in this chat. Yeah, Bava, I'm streaming. I'm multi-streaming, so I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook at the same time. So you can see on my screen here. You can see all the comments from all the different platforms, but on Twitch you are not gonna, on the chats from Twitch you are not gonna see them, because many are from YouTube or Facebook. And yeah, Lucius, Paul Dayton is a god. Yes, he is. Yes, he is the god. Cantabrian currently working with a couple of Paul Dayton references now. Yes, yes, of course. All hail Paul. Yes. I would love that interview. Yes, me too. Yes. I mean, the thing is, he's super humble, so I I hope that he would agree to do so. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm trying to achieve here. Let's see. Let's restart again. Hello, La Mana. What's a good way to get early experience as a concept artist? I'm also an aspired concept artist, and it seems like most of the jobs out there require published titles. What was your first job as one? All right. Okay. So, I mean, I think you have to think that with each one open position, they always put that because it makes sense, right? They always are gonna want to have an experienced concept artist. That being said, I can assure you that if your work, if your portfolio it's good, but you don't have a big experience or any experience at all, they're still gonna hire you. Uh, so you have to take those requisites as a little bit with a grain of salt. Of course, if you have it, it's the better. But that doesn't mean if you don't have them, they are not gonna hire you. You know, like, oh, this guy, he's super good, but oh, he hasn't worked before. Oh, I'm sorry, we are not gonna take you. I mean, yeah, of course, that means that your work need to be strong. Um, so yeah, don't get discouraged. Even if they are asking for many years of experience in one position, but you feel that your work is good enough, and but you haven't worked or you don't have that experience, still apply for that job. That's what I would say. And I'm talking from experience being involved in the recruiting when I was working on studio with Ubisoft. So the most important thing and what is gonna speak louder than anything else is your portfolio, your work. That's what is gonna speak more than anything else. And the experience, of course, is a plus, and it brings a lot of good things for an employer. But still, that doesn't mean that you cannot get that job. if your work it's good enough. Um, and regarding my first job as a concept artist, that I mean, yeah, that was almost 2 decades ago, and mm, it was by accident, almost. I started working in the 2D animation industry. I worked in 2 films, and after that, there was no more jobs because of 3D just appeared, and I didn't want to. Um, I just like to draw, so I didn't jump into the trend of 3D by then. And after some time waiting for a new project, a new film to appear, I just learned from a friend that her boyfriend was working on a video game studio in Madrid, where I'm from, and that they were looking for another concept artist. I say, concept artist? What is that? I never heard of it. What is that? He says, yeah, just designing characters and environment and stuff. Oh, that sounds cool. And of course, I was a gamer. Oh, that would be fantastic to work for a video game company. And then yeah, I applied, and I got the job, and that's how I started. Without really knowing what was concept art. Like everybody from my time says, like, yeah, by then nobody knew. It's like, yeah, that's the truth. So yes, that's how I started working as a concept artist. So don't worry about the lack of experience. Um, Everybody has started at some point with no experience, right? Everybody. So just focus on having a good portfolio, of having a solid foundation of skills, and that's what is gonna speak for you, and that's what is gonna give you the opportunities to work. And of course, obviously, that's gonna give you or put. I mean, you will be with some disadvantage with people that might have also a very good portfolio, and on top of that, they have experience. But you might happen that maybe you are lucky and somebody, it's like those things that you cannot control. The only thing that you cannot control the fact that you don't have experience. But what you can control is the quality of your work and your portfolio. So focus on that. And don't worry. Just apply to all the jobs that you feel that you want to work. And yeah. And hope for the best. Ataliba Andrade, Brazil. Right. Uh, that's a pretty random comment out of the blue. Why not Uruguay? Hello, Alamana. Thank you. I have always heard portfolio matters most, but it is nice to hear it from the pros. Well, I don't know about what pros. There's none in this room, but yeah, that's the thing. Everybody, I mean, if not, nobody would could start from the beginning, right? if you always or everybody just demanding experience, nobody new could jump in. It would be impossible. So yes, it's just that they put that also to kind of filter as well uh, people that maybe just get discouraged. But yeah, so once again, the most important thing is your work and portfolio. Because that's what they are going to be hiring you for. And on that note, I have seen several occasions where I have seen uh, the portfolio of students with no previous um, professional experience with a better portfolio than somebody with more with some professional experience. Um, and in those cases, I would rather take the student to hire the student one because I see that he would do a better job despite the fact that he might lack some experience. But that experience will come after a while, right? So yes, experience is a good thing, is a desired thing to have, but the priority and the more essential thing is obviously that you have some good work, that your portfolio is strong. Well, and I think, guys, that even though I'm really enjoying myself, but it's getting late. It's almost midnight. Well, no, almost no. It's already past midnight here. And I need to get up early tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. It's been a blast. Super happy for all the newcomers. I hope that you enjoyed so far, even though it's been a little bit of a more calm than usual stream. Normally, I try to be a little bit more active, and we have some pretty cool topics of conversation. But yeah, hopefully you want to repeat. I stream every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central European Time, and hopefully you want to repeat. And so in that case, yeah, see you next time. All right. For everybody else, see you next week. As always, have fun, enjoy your weekend, take it easy, relax, and stay safe and healthy. And yes, paint and draw a lot. And if you fancy, please post it on my Discord server. That would be fantastic to see. Once again, have a good one. Thanks a lot for all the new follows and for everybody to join from Bjorn. And yes, have a good night, a good day, depending on where you are. And until next time, bye bye.